this video, we will explore Universal Design for Learning, also known as UDL. UDL is a universal framework based on a set of principles which aims to enhance the educational experiences of all learners by promoting flexible teaching, learning and assessment practices that cater for the diversity of learners in our classrooms. The UDL framework is research-based and was developed by the CAST organisation. The goal of UDL is to use a variety of teaching methods to remove any barriers to learning and give all learners equal opportunities to succeed. It's about building in flexibility that can be adjusted for every learner's strengths and needs from the outset, rather than thinking of inclusion as an add-on after a lesson has been designed. UDL is also about providing for the diversity of learner needs in every classroom. In other words, UDL is all about equity of access to education for all learners. You have more than likely already encountered many examples of UDL in your everyday life, even if you may not necessarily have heard the term universal design being used. Closed captions, accessibility features on smartphones, and automatic doors are all examples of universal design. These design elements help people with disabilities. However, other people may also benefit from these design elements too. UDL can provide that same kind of flexibility and inclusion in the classroom. The three main principles underpinning UDL are multiple means of representation, multiple means of action and expression, and multiple means of engagement. Not all learners engage with new or familiar concepts in the same way. Some, but not all learning resources offer equity of access for all learners. Sharing materials in advance of a lesson will offer all learners the opportunity to break down and understand the concept at their own pace. This principle also includes the use of accessibility tools or assistive technology to allow all learners to access new learning. When possible, teachers can allow for multiple means of action and expression based on learners' strengths instead of weaknesses. Learners can record voice responses instead of writing them, or they could type responses, create videos, or use artistic representations to convey their learning. One of the key pillars of multiple means of engagement is to optimize individual choice and autonomy where possible. Another vital element is to be inclusive of all learners by design and to offer opportunities to develop self-assessment and reflection skills. UDL can take many forms in the classroom and in blended learning. It can be applied within all models of blended learning, for example in the flipped classroom model, as learners can engage with resources shared by their teacher prior to the face-to-face lesson at a time, place, path or pace that suits them. Teachers can incorporate UDL by making it part of daily practice to offer learners reasonable choices in how they participate and engage in learning activities. Learners might be able to choose to work alone or with peers, or even choose a role within a group for project work. Choice boards are a way to visually represent options for learning and can be very motivating. Learners could also engage with learning resources in different ways, for example, watching a video, listening to a podcast or audiobook, or reading a physical book to find out more about a new concept. Learners could also be encouraged to choose from a range of methods by which to express their thoughts and ideas, including some of the examples already mentioned. Self-assessment checklists and rubrics could be used for students to assess their own learning and identify ways forward. This concept would work well as part of a digital portfolio. Barriers can be removed for all learners by researching and promoting the use of accessibility features available for the devices they have access to, as well as those built into digital learning platforms they are using. Remembering that these tools can be used by all learners is key to UDL. Can you think of some simple ways to incorporate UDL into your practice?